In this video, I'm contouring the body around the coins to make them more visible. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. As you can see, unless you're looking directly at one of the coins, you really can't see the details of it. So I wanted to open the body up around them a little bit to make them more visible. To start, I used a Dremel tool with a router base attached to it to remove about 1/4 inch off the center of the coin field. This was just to give me a good gauge as to where I want the top of the inner part of it to be. After removing the top 1/4 inch, I transitioned to using a curved Iwasaki file. I really like using these files because it's like having 300 planes all working together. You can remove a lot of wood really fast, but still relatively have a smooth surface. To set a consistent depth for all of the coins, I used a micrometer locked to just under half the thickness of the body, which worked great as a guide. Now that I can see my depth on this side of the cutout, it's back to making some sawdust with the file. As you can see, I have a guideline both on the face of the guitar and in the center of the cutout. When using the file, I like to use both of these lines to set the angle of the taper. Then I curve it just a little bit to make the transitions more subtle. The only problem I had with this file is that I had a hard time getting down into some of the small inside radii since it's so wide. Since this really isn't a science here, I decided to try using a sploid knife to remove some of the wood from those small radii. But even though the knife was really sharp, it did not make the finish on the edge of the body. So I got some of the job done, it just wasn't the right tool for this job. Like I said, this really isn't a science. It's more of a will over skill type of thing. since the knife didn't work like I had hoped, I decided to try the Dremel with a spiral cutter on it. I found that it moved the wood very easily in the tight spots, but it takes a very light touch. It can gouge the wood and get away from it very quickly. But overall, it is a very effective tool. Small piece of wood that I knocked out was a piece that I was intending to keep in it, but I got a little overzealous with the file. Even though I wasn't happy about it, there wasn't any sense crying about it. It just means that I have to figure out how to make the repair later. And since this guitar is the only one of its kind, it gives me a lot of liberties to be able to make it however I want or I need. The Dremel came in handy here again. I'll admit that by this time I was getting pretty tired. I'd been at this for about 3 hours already, so I used it a little bit more than I normally would have, and I used it to help shape the last part of this cut. Now that I have the shape that I want, I moved to some 120 grit sandpaper to start smoothing it out. Typically when sanding, I like to use a lot of blocks where I can. Here I'm using a small block of wood that I keep specifically for this purpose. Sometimes I use round blocks, I use wooden dowels, though a lot of this particular job was done with my fingers as the sanding blocks. And now it's time for a test fit to see how well this thing turned out. Now, there are a few other things I didn't show in this, particularly the next couple levels of sanding where I went from 120 to 240 to 400 grit to smooth it out as much as I could before grain filling and spraying primer. And if you made it this far, thank you very much for sticking it out with me. I really appreciate you. Have a blessed day.